Hi, it's Justin, and I hope you're enjoying my dad's videos. Make sure to share this video with family and friends, like and subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you get notified for all my dad's new videos. My social media will be tagged down below so you can follow it. And just remember, Jesus loves you.
Hi guys, just one little factor here before we start this video here today. If for any reason my YouTube channel gets taken down, which could happen because we're challenging the deep state and we're challenging the powers behind the scenes. But if it does get taken down, I'm going to share the link below here. We have a website, drcharlieward.co.uk, and you can subscribe on there to our updates and our newsletters, etc., that are being produced by Lee Hemington. But you'll be able to keep in touch with what's going on. So at the moment, everything is nice and smooth. But if for any reason we get taken down, you simply go to my website, drcharlieward.co.uk, and register there, and you'll get all the information as to where we are or where you can view our videos. Good morning, guys. Today we've got Adi Jackson, David Gregory, Laura Ward, and Lucy Davis. Good morning, guys.
Hey. Good morning, Charlie.
How is everyone?
Amazing.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. Very
good. I feel like a Charlie's Angel, like when we all did that. Sorry.
Exactly.
Good morning, Charlie.
Exactly. Brilliant. Well, Laura, we'll start with you. You were out yesterday doing your walk in London, Freedom for Children.
Hey everyone, welcome to London. We are here today to cause an absolute storm around the world in the aid of freedom for the children. I found myself getting involved because I've got two little sisters and I cannot bear for them not to have decisions going forwards in their life. You know, this is where it needs to stop. This is where life needs to change in so many other ways. You know, this isn't just about the children today. This is about the future of our country. This is the future for absolutely human mankind. And it's just time now to stop.
Tell us how it went.
Amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Everyone there was just on exactly the right intention. Everyone just really in their hearts, just open to the healing, and we made so much noise. The police were absolutely amazing because we kind of went totally off plan. I'd let them know that we wouldn't need any sort of like escort and it would all be fine. And then we're blocking roads, and they've just dealt with it and helped us, and they were really friendly. So that was really amazing. The meditation was fantastic. I got so much positive feedback about the meditation as well. And like lots of people really connecting into the energy, and yeah, it was just absolutely fantastic day. Honestly, I'm just blown away with the amount of gratitude that you all have, and I'm just so grateful that I was put in this position to be able to do this as well. Like, this is just so important. I know many people here have been waiting their whole lives for a moment like this. I know I feel a lot of other people, they feel they've been guided here divinely. We've got loads of footage, loads of content. I can't wait to share it all. I haven't even really been able to plug in yet to the group because my phone died, and I literally then passed out in my bed. I was just so tired. I was just like, I can't.
I think it's interesting to point out the fact that 22,000 children every single day go missing worldwide. And most people in the world are completely oblivious to this. When I say they go missing, they're being taken by the super rich, the paedophile gangs, etc. And for whatever reason, the mainstream media are completely ignoring it. And as with yesterday's march that Laura organised, yet again, the mainstream media ignored the message of freedom for our children and chose to go down and put them in the category of QAnon. Nothing wrong with QAnon, but this was about freedom for children.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And the feedback as well we were getting from just the general public and the cars going past, even the buses, you know, the honking the horns, beeping the beeps.
Yes. Looks like you're on your own. There's more of us.
Beeping the beeps, you know, it was amazing to see, and just like such an emotional experience walking over the bridge and past the Houses of Parliament up to you know, up to Buckingham Palace in the end. Palace in the end, and you know, the whole time it just felt really, really emotional, and actually speaking to people that have been victims, and you know, it chokes you, and you yeah. So
I totally agree, and the most of it was obviously a very, very peaceful walk, but there was times when they got agitated. And as I said to Laura and Lucy earlier, it wouldn't at all surprise me if the agitation came from walking over tunnels that these children had been kept in. And it's very important to point this out because most people in the world don't realize what's actually going on, because it's not on mainstream media. You can go onto Google and type in, there's the hashtags you mentioned yesterday, Laura, and a few of them had them up there, about paedophilia, about adrenochrome. We'll put the links in below, but you can do your own research on this. It's not a very, very nice situation what's going on, and maybe there's a reason that it's not out there, but it's something that you can look into personally as to what is actually going on.
Yeah.
And where was the first underground built? It was in London. You know, so they've started on this a long time ago.
I don't think the public have any idea how many tunnels there are that are private tunnels under the palaces in London that interlink them, and a number of buildings in London. There's a serious mileage of underground tunnels, serious mileage. And I'm not talking about the train underground. I'm just talking about private underground tunnels. Huge amounts of them.
Underneath the underground.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like, these people don't want to be seen where they're going, what they're doing, and it's just totally out of sight, isn't it?
Completely out of sight, but not out of mind.
Yeah.
No, definitely not.
And it's for us to wake people up to what's actually happening and what we've been up against, with the help of Donald Trump, who's the first president in history to expose these paedophile gangs. And he's very much on the same page as all of you guys to save our children.
Yeah.
Try and find footage of Obama or Clinton or Bush talking about human or child trafficking. You won't find it.
Plenty of footage of them kissing kids, haven't you, though? That's nice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And because of my platform, I've had many, many videos sent to me, but I've actually deleted virtually all of them because they're too disgusting to publish.
Yeah, I don't think anyone wants to see
I've accidentally clicked on Facebook links, and just a couple of seconds, and you know that those images are in my head, and I've had to cut it off. And you know, this is when people say it's a conspiracy theory. Well, everybody knows paedophilia exists, so how is that a conspiracy theory? And when they say Pizzagate, okay, you might think it's a conspiracy theory with Comet Ping Pong, but you only have to go and look on its Facebook page and look at the posters. It's there for you to see. And if pizza is a pedo term, then all pedo crimes are Pizzagate, because none of them are excusable. So it's not a conspiracy theory. Go and look it up. And you know, the journey is dark.
Yeah.
it's a lot of hard truths, and you know, it's an emotional roller coaster. But you know, once you know this, you can't unknow it, and you fight for it, because you know, I'm a father. There is no way I want this future. And if I'd like to make a point on the masks on children, you know, a picture tells you 1,000 words, as the old saying goes. And when you see a meme and you see these memes of children on there, and I've shared this on my own personal Facebook, and you know, for me, it's a form of child abuse. And let's say your child is lost, or goes missing, or is taken, and they're wearing a face mask. How are you going to let people know around you what they look like? Because it takes 2 minutes to take that mask off if they're taken away or they're lost, or you know, it's not good. And walking around London was heartbreaking for me. I saw plenty of children wearing face masks. They don't need to wear it. Nobody needs to wear it.
Nobody needs to wear a mask.
Nobody needs to wear it.
No.
It does
And
nothing.
that's where I was getting a bit emotional about it, and I was making my point across that, you know, the real pandemic is 8 million kids worldwide. You know, between 5 to 8 million kids per year go missing worldwide, and that's the real pandemic. That's, you know, the death toll on that is inexcusable. So you know,
the politicians are lying to you about it, because it's not the law. You can't make it law. It's a civil demand, but it's not the law. You cannot. Fresh air is a God-given right. You can't take that away from people.
No.
It's not that. It's not. They're
not born with masks.
It's not. They're not in a position to do that. You can't take away a God-given right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a civil demand. It's like a policeman says, "Sit down." It's not the law. He's just telling you to sit down.
Yeah.
Civil demand in a court of law, and they can't fine people. The fact they're finding people is totally illegal. It's totally illegal. But having said this, if you follow me from the start, you'll know that I've said that this is all a smokescreen to cover up the global financial reset.
100%.
Which is what's happening right now, and I'm involved with that, so I know what's going on a lot more than most people out there. And it's been,
you are the news, Charlie Ward.
My wife keeps saying to me, "What are you going to do when this is over?" I said, "I'm going to go back to work." It's quite simple.
Can I just interject with the masks and the law thing, if people don't mind? So, Charlie, as you know, I went out to Portugal to retrace the steps of Mahoney and the guys. So I thought I'd test the boundaries. I suffer with severe anxiety, so it was a real test for me as well, and I wanted to face some fears. So I decided not to wear a mask. Went from Luton Airport to Portugal, no mask. The only person to ask me to wear a mask was the flight stewards, and I told them I suffer with flight anxiety and asthma. They left me alone. Same on the way back.
Correct.
No hassle. The only person who gave me any hassle was one of the security at the baggage check-in. So I put on a mask that said, "I do not consent." The moment I was downstairs, that was off. And again, customs and exercise, you know yourself, they have more powers than the police.
Yeah.
Not one of them told me to put on a mask.
No.
Right? It's so frustrating seeing people say, "Oh, it's the law. I don't know what it is." Just take the mask off, people. Just take it off.
Exactly.
Please.
It's summer.
Yeah.
Like you say, Charlie Ward, it's over 24 degrees. The virus doesn't exist. We've had plenty of hot days since April in the UK. I know you're in Spain. And it's just shocking. It's shocking. And also the advertising that, you know, I walked past Snappy Snaps, and they're advertising instant masks in 5 minutes. Now, are these medically tested masks that are made in Snappy Snaps? You know,
Somebody pointed out the other day, because in Spain they're wearing them underneath their nose. And it's a bit like wearing a condom on your bollocks, isn't it?
And so many people just have it resting on their chin, a sweaty chin, it's like 22 degrees, sweaty chin, and then oh yeah, I'll go into a shop. I'm safe now. The virus won't get me.
It's just absolutely crazy what people will believe.
It's symbolism, isn't it? It's symbolism.
Yeah, it's like a muzzle. It's a muzzle. I couldn't even literally think about putting one on. I just couldn't. Yeah, I think most people feel like that because it feels like a muzzle. That's exactly what it is. That is the purpose that it's serving. It's not serving any health purpose. are taught it is to muzzle you.
It's a
Like,
big-
you know,
it's a big-
Keep people like us quiet.
Yeah.
It's a big shame the banks have run out of money because it's the perfect time to rob them.
Don't give me ideas, Charlie.
Oh, yeah. You'd fit in with everybody, wouldn't you?
I know we were mentioning the masks and stuff as well. We mentioned that having them on children is inappropriate and, you know, a form of abuse as well. But also, like, as a kind of trafficking aspect, you could just have a kid's mouth taped underneath a mask. You could literally be having it happen right in front of your eyes, and you would never know that a kid's got duct tape underneath their mask.
Yeah,
you know, it's terrifying. It's absolutely terrifying.
Going back to us talking about the children, this is only my own thought process. I haven't got any hard evidence, although I've had people tell me. I wonder if they set up these big field hospitals not for COVID-19. I wonder if they set them up ready for the children when they free them from these tunnels. Most people are unaware that they're even there, but I know
sorry, Charlie. Even maybe to deflect the attention away from other areas where rescue operations are actually going on, or investigations. You know, Buckingham Palace is boarded up. It's clear as day. It's boarded up. Yeah. And also in Central Park as well, the drone footage where you've got the Central Park of the pop-up tents that they had there. You know, all the focus was on there, and if they're working underground.
There was another 100 forensic scientists that went into Buckingham Palace yesterday, I was informed.
Wow, so they saw us.
They
must have seen.
They will have definitely seen you. They'll have definitely seen what's going on.
We were making some noise, that's for sure.
That's good. You know,
like we were divinely guided that way. We weren't supposed to go that way, but we ended up going that way for a reason.
your sound's a bit low, Lucy.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Can you hear me all right, Charlie?
I can just hear you a bit, but it was quieter than it was before.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll just speak louder.
Just speak louder.
I want to hear what you've got to say.
We certainly heard you yesterday.
Yeah, Lucy, we know you're loud. It's okay.
I wonder if it's because I've not got headphones on, and you guys have got headphones on, haven't you? So it might be that. Because Addy to me is really loud, but Laura, you're just kind of normal. Charlie's normal.
That's the first time I've been told normal.
For me, Charlie, you probably are. Like I old aliens.
Yes, exactly.
Like I'm ready for extraterrestrial man. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
No, what I was saying is we were divinely guided past Buckingham Palace yesterday, and I truly believe what you were just saying about the hospitals, Charlie, is that they were set up there for the children, but also for the impact that it's going to have on the people when the people start to awaken to the truth of what's really been going on.
Yeah.
That's something that I feel really strongly, passionately about, is that, you know, when this mass awakening, which is what we're doing here, mass awakening, the people sleepy start to wake, they are going to be shocked at what's been going on behind the scenes. Their whole life is going to be a lie. And we are going to need these areas of protection for these people. You know, I've never thought, I remember sitting down with my family very early on in this situation, and I was like, these hospitals are not about COVID. They're not about that. This is about a far greater picture that we just aren't sure how that's going to unfold right now.
You're right.
100%.
You're right with that, because I've been told very, very clearly that there will be a lot of deaths in September and October, which will go down as COVID-19, but it will be from suicides, it will be from heart attacks, when people understand what's actually gone on. And my wife said to me, well, why do people commit suicide? I said, imagine you've lost your business, you've lost your house, then you find it was all a load of bollocks. How do you feel?
Yeah.
These people are going to be desperate. They're going to be super, super desperate. Sorry.
People are making decisions on their soul contract right now. You know, all of us being faced with a decision: do we stand up and speak our truth, or do we check out?
Exactly.
And that's fundamentally, that's the choice that we've got right now. And there are so many of us that are being brave and standing up and speaking our truth. But then there are so many that are like, oh my God, I just can't do this, because it's such a huge shift for them.
It is. And they're worried about their reputation. I've had a lot of that, especially with young men.
Ego. Ego.
They're worried about
Exactly that, the ego.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, I've lost lifelong friends off my Facebook. They question my mental health, and you know, I'm completely fine. And if it wasn't for you, Charlie, and the people that you've had on, you've had Gene the Code and Kristen recently, and these are the people that opened up my mind to the underground tunnels and everything that goes with it.
Yeah.
I know that the information that I'm hearing is following a path, and everything that I'm hearing is connecting to the outcome. And I'm keeping an eye on the mainstream, and it's totally confusing. They're saying one thing one minute and saying another thing the next minute. And if you don't have this privilege, like I feel like I have, getting the information from yourself and Jack Kidd and Greg and Dan Mahoney and all the people that have been with me on this journey, I would be totally confused. I was totally confused before I even knew any about this in April. So you know, it's
the tactic, isn't it, to be confusing?
Yeah,
because you don't do anything. Kind of, and the thing is, like, if you just, it's like people are so close to the screen, it's like they can't see the confusion. Do you know what I mean? But you've only got to take a little step back, and it's there. It's right there. Everything's right there. That's the most frustrating thing.
All
it is
the answers
in
are
front
there.
of your eyes. Like, it literally is. You just need to take a little step back from it. Stop getting caught up in like the specifics and everything and all the details, and just take a step back and look at the pattern, look at the theme, look where it's all trying to take you and what it's trying to do as a collective rather than like the individual. Because the mainstream media, you got to think of it as just an animal. Like, all of it together is like one entity. It is not an individual newspaper, an individual person. It is one animal with one voice, one message, trying to confuse the shit out of you. Basically.
exactly.
And when you step back a bit, you can see it. You can see that it's not that individual newsreader.
This last week, the Bank of England has been shut all week.
Mhm.
The Bank of Spain has been shut all week.
Denmark.
COVID-19 was given as an excuse in London. Technical issues was given in Spain. And yet people are completely oblivious to it. Nobody's questioning it at all. And I'd say, well, hang on, why is the main bank, the Bank of England, every other bank's open, why is the Bank of England closed? If there wasn't something going on behind the scenes, why is it closed?
Yeah, exactly.
For a week.
Not like you can go in there anyway.
Well, I've only ever been there twice in my life. But
interesting fact for you, my last project manager role, I used to work in investment banking, and my last project manager role, they wanted me at the Bank of England, and I walked in the building and I was like, I can't be here at all. And I hadn't tapped into my spiritual gifts at that point.
Wow.
Like, I literally hadn't tapped into it, because that was probably about 10 years ago. And it was just unbelievable. I walked in and I just got this shiver, and I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is past and present Lucy, you know. I have this like really polar life.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
No. And what I just wanted to say on what you guys were just talking about is, you know, the fundamental truth is that we need to take the human race back to love. There is we don't need to buy into the mainstream media, what you were just talking about, Laura, like it's a virus. What we need to do is activating love and reminding everybody on the planet that we are just divine love. And when we can step back into love, that's when we can unlock the truths. You know, like Adi was just saying, there's certain people that have unlocked his truths, and it's having those people that activate the love within us that we recognize that actually we're not living our truth. And when we can all step back into the love vibration, which is how we entered this planet. And, you know, before we got started, Laura and Charlie and I were just talking about the innocence of children living in a space of love. They just know, you know, and that is what we need to roll back. We need to roll back the human race to a space of love where there is no judgment, there is no competition. You know, yes, there's always going to be polarity, but we need to be stepping into a space of divine love and helping and protecting those people that are scared.
Yeah.
You know, because it's such an unusual way to feel now.
Yeah. I've felt so peaceful for the last 4 months. I've never known a peace like inside. I feel totally comfortable with everything. And people say, well, you're saying some very challenging things. When you tell the truth, it's not challenging.
No, definitely
it's
not.
So easy. it? When you step into your truth, like even just in the last few days, I've had somebody say to me, Lucy, you are so up together. You know, you used to absolutely rock the corporate world, and now look at you, like what's happened to you? And the fundamental truth is, I speak my truth now, whereas before I used to lie, which is why I was so sick, which is why I was ruled with disease. Because I was living a lie. I was living in a materialistic world that was premised off of the back of, you know, the kind of stuff that we're uncovering now. And our human body reflects everything that we are doing, everything. And that's what we need to awaken people to. You can heal yourself. You can step into vibration. It doesn't matter what in your past. We've all got a past. You know, it's about increasing this collective consciousness now and taking it to a whole new level.
I believe this is a 10-year process, you know, and living in the Western world, we're probably going to see these changes at a quicker rate than the rest of the world. But, you know, from 2020 to 2030, we're going to see massive changes. We're privileged to live in westernized countries that will see the improvements quicker. But I think this is a couple of years. There's a couple of years of hard truths that we're going to have to live with. And people like us will be there to help, and that's where we have to go in the future. And I just want to make a point, like you're saying before, Laura, on the mainstream media now, with the QAnon movement. I totally believe now, over the next couple of months coming up to the US elections.
What's happened?
We've got a feedback there.
Yeah, I can see it.
Oh, we've all got it now.
We've all got it. It's gone now.
Okay.
Yeah, just up and coming to the US elections, they're going to try and turn the QAnon movement as this far right terror group. And I bet you the same people that were destroying statues around the US, which was not widely reported as, or was known as peaceful protests, you know, Portland and Seattle, these same people that have not been arrested or caught will now wear Q t-shirts and will cause damage. Watch that will happen. I'm pretty sure of it. They're gonna make us look like far right domestic terrorists, and we're not. We're just definitely not domestic.
They'll try every trick in the book.
Yeah, we'll try.
Exactly.
And it just means that it's working. It just means that it's working.
Of course it does. Donald Trump is totally in control of that right now.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, let's look on the brighter side of it. If these fascists do start going a bit crazy with the QAnon t-shirts, at least it gets the QAnon voice out there a little bit more, even though it's the wrong projection they're giving off. It's more attention. Bring it on.
Yes.
Bring it on.
Exactly right. There's no such thing as bad publicity.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When they got banned on Twitter recently, everybody went searching, right? As soon as they get banned somewhere, everyone wants to know why. And to be honest, it's all going to be playing into people's favors. You know,
it's like I remember. I'm older than all of you guys there, and I remember when there was a band called Frankie Goes to Hollywood. They came out with a song called Relax.
Yeah.
BBC banned it, and it immediately went to #1 because it was banned.
Yeah, exactly.
What did they ban it for? What was the reason?
Something to do with the lyrics. I'll let you do your investigation. It's a fabulous song. But you could, if you get the chance to listen to it, you'll understand why the BBC didn't like it.
Yeah, I know it. I know it well.
It got banned. It went straight to #1, and it's just like. And when books get banned, everyone goes out and buys them.
Exactly.
Amazing.
You know, by nature, we're curious creatures. We've just been programmed by society over the last however many years that we've been alive, since starting the schooling process, to, you know, listen and to do as we're told. And there's a reason for all of that. You know, and now is the time that we unpick. We're just holding space for people to unpick, go research. Like every single video that I've ever done in my life, I say, please use your discernment, go and do your own research. I am not the chronicle of truth. You know, I'm speaking my truth and it's my perspective. So just go look. And when we can empower people to go and look, then, you know, whatever they find is going to be what they need to find.
Yeah. There's a recent film I watched as well. So a lot of people say, oh, you're watching YouTube videos and everything like this, so you're getting your information from there. Well, BBC, Sky, CNN, they're all on YouTube as well. But there's a film by Rick Mail that was made in 2014, which I recently watched, called One by One.
Yeah.
Just watch that film. The message in that film is so relevant right now. And Rick Mail died of a heart attack that year because he mentions a certain yeah, that for me says it all. And if I can just say one thing about Netflix as well, I've subscribed to Netflix for the last 4 or 5 years. I'm going to cancel my subscription. They've showed this trailer for an upcoming show, Cuties. I don't know if you've seen this. They've reported it in the Sun as well, and another paper saying that it is gross. But one thing I've noticed is that it's designed for over 18s, and these are 11-year-old girls twerking.
Wow.
11-year-old girls.
Just sick.
For over 18s. I mean, if that's not something right in your face to look at to see there's actually an issue here, then I don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
Well, I've been fairly fortunate most of my life. I just don't watch television, or I don't even watch movies. So many people say to me, "Have you seen this? Have you seen this?" I don't watch movies. Even when I get on a plane, I try and get a flight overnight, and because I have certain criteria. If I travel up to 3 hours, I'll go economy. 4 hours to 7 hours, I tend to go business class, which means you can lay down and go to sleep. So I get on a plane and go straight to sleep. I never watch a movie. And people say, well, you should be able to on a plane, but I just don't. At home, because I live in southern Spain, we're out in the sunshine all day long. We don't need to be cooped up in a dark room watching a telly or a movie.
Oh, people will be downloading your shows and watching you.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
I watch a lot of documentaries on YouTube to give me information. Because when people tell me something, and a lot of stuff I get told, I try and get it verified by at least 2 other sources. So I get it from 2 or 3 different angles. And then, because you have to understand what I'm telling you is my interpretation of what I've been told. And I like to hear other people's interpretation of what they've been told, because they can have a completely different perspective of exactly the same thing. So it's interesting because we all have different ways of putting it out there.
Yeah. Exactly.
And just trying to establish the truth from different people's versions of it, if you like.
Exactly. We all wake up every day with a different idea what we're going to do that day, and there's 7 billion of us, and allegedly, might be more, might be less, and there's infinite possibilities how that day's going to go. So your thought process can change every day, every hour. I mean, even yesterday, I walk in there. I went there, and I was looking forward to it. But the first few moments I was there, I spoke to 2 people who told me their story, and immediately I was like, wow, that brought it home for me. So like when I heard Lucy speak and Laura, I was getting proper emotion. I was holding up the gimbal there, filming it, getting a dead arm, but. I was choking inside. And it was. I think that's why I got a bit passionate outside Buckingham Palace.
It's a passionate subject.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's why I weren't there, guys. As I said to AD, I was quite volatile yesterday, so I thought best to keep myself away because don't want to get myself in trouble or anyone else.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very passionate, and I want to quickly just sad experience I had yesterday. Some idiot moaned about what's walking going to do, what's walking and protesting going to do. It's going to raise awareness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Honestly, the stupidity level is just it's gone crazy. It really
people
has.
are just judgmental and afraid. Like that's what it is. Like one of the biggest things we've got to try and encourage people to do is that it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to say what you think. It's okay to do what you want to do. And you don't need other people's approval at all, because that's what keeps people in their box for so long, is they don't want to step up and be seen by anything. They just judge anything that's different. or people, you know, living in their own truth or doing something that's important to them, because they could never, ever, ever feasibly do that right now for themselves. So too terrified.
You look where I started. I started off on my walks, holding my phone up and just talking to the phone, and with 37 subscribers. So if a 60-year-old bloke can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, that's really inspirational, Charlie.
Yeah.
Really inspirational.
If I can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think I found your channel when I saw Jack and Greg. I think it was like 6,000 or 7,000 subscribers. So I've seen it, you know, go to 123, 124,000 subscribers, and you're getting Truth Channel speakers on there that I've followed in this 3 or 4 months, and they've all said the same things from different sources, like you say, and we're all, like you say, the different interpretations, and the story is, you know, for me, when I first found out, I was like, it's going to happen in June, it's going to happen in July. Now I've had this calmness that I know it's going to play out. This is a movie that we're living in, and we will see the results, but we just have to be calm about it and try and educate and make other people aware as best as we can.
That's the best piece of advice ever, because most people are unaware that we're actually in the Third World War and we're only 4 months in.
Yeah.
Second World War took 5.5 years.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lucy.
That, Charlie, that's exactly what I said yesterday. Is this is World War III that we're in, and so many people don't know. And it's our job, it's our responsibility to give the people permission to use their voice this lifetime, because so many people are suffering emotional trauma from whatever has gone on. It could be abuse, it could be trafficking, it could be their parents telling them that they weren't good enough. Whatever their emotional trauma is, it's stopping their voice this lifetime. And excuse me, we need to come together as a collective to empower these people and give them permission, because that's what they're used to. They've forgotten that they can take their own, you know, they can take it back themselves. But by people like us and Charlie speaking up and speaking our truth on subjects which are so raw and so, you know, they initiate so much anger in people and hatred, and that's what we're doing. We're unlocking them from the shackles they've put themselves in, because that's what happened. You know, life has made people tough. Life has made people like quiet in their voice. A lot of the work that I do, men and women, they come to me and their throat, their thyroid is completely out of whack. It's because they're not speaking their truth. They've literally got somebody's hand is around their neck, and they are just silenced. So
and now they're told to wear a mask to make it even worse.
Exactly. So not only have they been strangled, now they're being told that they've got to be quiet. And like literally 90% of the people that I know wear a mask just because they don't want hassle. I've travelled across the whole of the UK and round, and not one person has said to me, a man of about 80 tapped his mask and said, "Where's yours?" And I said, "I know my rights, I don't need to wear one." And he went, "I like what you're doing." That's the words he said. "I like what you're doing." The rest of the time, not one person has ever said anything to me. And it's because I'm happy to speak my truth. You know, I walk into a room and I'm very comfortable and confident in what I'm talking about. Now, imagine if we wake the world up to that. Imagine if everybody can step into that, not arrogance, but ego, confidence, and love. Wow. You know, we need to encourage people that they're safe without the mask. There are people out there that genuinely think they're going to die if they don't wear one.
Totally get that.
I admit I was one of them. I for the first month, March to April, I was one of them. And also, I didn't have the most positive view on Trump either, although I gave him a chance when he was first elected as president, because I thought he's a businessman and he might actually go in there and have a different idea of it. But like the mainstream does, they make you believe that he's this buffoon and idiot when he's a quantum genius, basically, and bringing our quantum financial system. And you know, since I must say that I did have that month, you know, wearing the mask, washing my shopping, and then I had a month off with no news, just watching comedy shows and that kind of thing. And that was a blissful month. And I went back, and then it was, they were saying, control the virus. How can you control a virus? That for me is that was the biggest alarm. You can't control something you can't see. It's all in your head.
You can't transmit a virus. You can transmit germs.
Yes.
Our body is full of viruses. I mean, over 1 trillion viruses, over 40 million in our mouth. So they've got us believing a load of bollocks right from the start. It's just like, you can't transmit a virus.
Yeah, can't. But the narrative always is it's like war on something. People like to attack something, don't they? It's like the war on drugs or the war on terrorism, and now it's the war on a virus. But it's actually a war against your fellow man. Actually, for being told that you are a threat, you existing can potentially hurt somebody else. And if you don't wear a mask, you're selfish. Just it's so manipulative. Like the language is, if it was like if it was an abusive relationship, do you know what I mean? If this was like somebody, like you'd be like telling them to get away from that person. Like the language is so appalling and manipulative and fear loaded. It's just, I don't know how people can listen to it. I honestly just don't. I've not listened to it once in this whole thing. I've never listened to the news. And it's just, it's terrifying. Even when you hear a little bit of it, I don't know how people are doing it. Like, give yourselves a break. Like, you don't actually have to watch it.
Yeah, unplug the TV.
Yeah.
Just as a point that David was saying before, that he says he suffers from anxiety. If you're getting your children to socially distance at the age of 5, wearing masks, what are you doing to that generation? So we have to stop this now, because the kids that are like 10, 11 years old, they're going to be totally confused, you know, from the childhood that they had to get up to their age. So we need to stop it now. Otherwise, these 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds are going to suffer anxiety, OCD, stress. They shouldn't know anything about it. And you know, my missus's friend said that one of her kids mentioned the word anxiety. That they shouldn't know that word. I didn't know that. I didn't know anxiety. You know, it's about. I don't know.
This is where we need. You know what we were speaking about yesterday, or what I spoke about the systems. It's the systems that we need to break. You know, the systems need to revamp. The educational system, the legal system. You know, all of our systems are completely broken. Obviously, the financial system, we have an inner knowing that that's taking place, but the legal needs to be broken down. Like, let's be honest. There is so many inconsistencies. I was shared some information in December of last year, and I always wondered why it was shared with me, but I always trust divine alignment. And now I have an exact knowing why I had that information shared with me, because of the knowing that is going on, you know, behind the scenes, where the children are concerned, with the judges and the people that they're supposed to be representing these people. You know, all of the systems fundamentally need to be broken down. They cannot continue the way they are. No. You know, because kids are going to think they're anxious. They're being programmed that they're anxious. We're being programmed that we're anxious, but thankfully we're woken up to say, no, this is not happening on our watch. Yeah. Exactly. You know, it's systems that yes, the children are a huge driver to pull all this together. You know, they really are, and it's amazing. Like what we witnessed yesterday is going to change the world, right? Without any shadow of a doubt. It's step number 1 in multiple steps that is going to change the world. Like, I don't have any shadow of a doubt in that. However, what we need to be doing off the back of it is making sure that the people that have been allowing this to take place and the systems that are protecting those people, they're gone. They need to be expanded, they need to be worked on, and we need to be coming together with our incredible energy that we did yesterday. Like we saw in the meditation, the Schumann resonance went through the roof. You know, that was the intention that I set before, and literally from the minute we started, the Schumann resonance kept going up. At 3 o'clock, 3:30, that it went through the roof. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We as a collective can do this. We can break the old and bring it into the new, the quantum world.
We also have the full support of Donald Trump, who's the most powerful man in the world right now. We all have to tap into that, because he's behind us. He's behind our movement.
Yeah,
it's really
and
quite
how can we ever go back
interesting.
to Labour? Sorry, you carry on, Lucy.
It's really quite interesting. So I do meditations every single week with my group that I've got on Facebook, and I have had so many visions that I'm going to have a face-to-face meeting with Donald Trump. And recently, in probably the last 4 to 5 weeks, a lot of my group are like, "Oh my God, you're going to meet him! I keep having this vision," and I'm like setting the intention, because that is how we're going to break the old systems, right? Like as many of us as possible just need to get in front of that man, because what Charlie was saying, whether people love him or hate him, he is the most powerful man in the world right now, and we need him. And he is unlocking people, like you said earlier, AD. He unlocked you. Like, this journey is far greater than that. Like, it goes down so many rabbit holes and all the rest of it, but he's unlocking people. Like, and it's incredible what that man is doing.
Listen to his full speeches. The media always give it a minute or two, and they show what they want you to hear. But when you listen to his full speeches, there was one where he did it in Iowa. Nobody even knows that there was a massive disaster in Iowa. Does anybody know that on the mainstream? No, but they're suffering in Iowa. They've had they had the largest corn crop absolutely destroyed. No attention to that at all. And when he was in this meeting with all the people that, the mayors of the local towns, what do you need? Done. What do you need? Done. What do you need? Done. And that's not reported. That's the man that is in charge, like you say, of 209 countries right now.
That's the role model that the world needs. No more talking. Let's
just do it.
Like, this
get
is
done.
Which is why Laura and I made such a good team, because we're action. Like we're not messing about with this. Everybody came to me yesterday and they were like, "Oh my God, you and Laura are like the dream team," because it was like, right, you do that, I'll do this, right, and we just got it done. There was no questions. I never once questioned if Laura was going to do it. I just knew it would happen.
You're on the same frequency.
And that's why Donald Trump is so significant right now, because he is a man of action. Love him or hate him, he is a man of action. And we have to respect that in a world of people that just do this.
People just putting out spin and lies and
load of experts
doing anything at all, actually making any positive change. He is doing that, and you can't deny that. We can, but only for a certain amount of time. Then you look like an idiot. But the information's right there. But you do, though. Some people, it's just like this blind. I'm just not gonna like him. I'm not gonna like anything he's doing. It's like, look at what he's actually doing. You don't have to like the guy, but he's actually doing something. He's actually fixing problems and making solutions. Just get out of your own way.
I had this discussion with my wife 2 days ago, because I made her watch my video about the 8 things that he's done, the 8 good things he's done. And she said, "Yeah, but I still don't like him." And I said, "You've never met him." She's gone, "No." I said, "That's how badly programmed you are. You only believe the media. You've never ever met him." And she's gone, "I just don't know why I don't like him." I said, "I know exactly why you don't like him, because you believe the media. If you've met somebody, you can say, like some of you will know, some of you won't know, but I had the privilege many years ago of meeting Osama bin Laden, the biggest man you'll ever meet. I mean, he's 6'7" tall. He spoke with a very humble, quiet voice, but when he talked, you listen. And it's completely different from what the media had him as. Completely different, but an absolute lovely, lovely man. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining me this morning. I really, really do. On a Sunday morning, all of you up at this time of the morning.
The fight don't stop, Charlie. The fight don't stop, mate.
Exactly, it doesn't.
It doesn't have a time frame.
It certainly doesn't. But if we can get people aware of what is going on right now, and most people love their children. Most people do, but it's now time to protect other people's children, and all of us. Whether we've got children or not children, they're our future.
Stop expecting other people to do the battle for you. Step up. It's your future. It's your kids' future.
Exactly.
We need more people, so just step up as well.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Laura. Thank you.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.
Hi, it's Justin, and I hope you enjoyed